All Protestants believe that you're saved by grace through faith, that Christ alone, his life, death, resurrection, and faith in him makes you right before God, which makes you go from being condemned to having the ability to be in God's kingdom because you're justified by grace through faith. And you enter into that relation. Anybody can come. So that's what Adventists believe. So, like, we believe you get saved. You can get saved on your deathbed if it's sincere, because you're justified by Christ alone. It's in the 28 Fundamentals. That's what we believe. And then to varying degrees, people describe the rest after that differently. But yeah, you basically, like, if you don't keep his commandments, then you don't know him. And so, but these Baptist guys see that, but Charles kind of understands this, but when SFT gets his Baptist pastors going, see, they actually will say, people like me aren't saved. We never were saved. They have to say that. Charles realizes the problem with this, with his easy believism, because we actually do think we're justified by faith. We actually believe that. That's what it means to be Protestant. It's just plain in Paul. But then there's other verses that say all kinds of stuff that Jesus said. You have to remain. You can apostatize. Endure to the end. Unless you believed in vain. Don't take your hand off the gospel plow. And you're being saved from your sin. So we believe the mere gospel that you're justified by grace through faith, period. And it's the only way you can be justified before God. You can go from death to life. So then you can't turn around and say you just have to believe by faith alone, because we believe exactly like you do that you're justified in the same way. But then you guys dance around, and so the standard OSAS Baptist will be like, well, actually, you can't get on the plane and walk to the place. So what are you saying then? We believe in justification the same way you do. And we believe you can apostatize through faithlessness. Now suddenly we don't qualify for the mere belief that gets us from death to life because we trust in Christ, because we think you have to be faithful. That's inconsistent. Now you're adding to the mere belief gospel. You're adding to it. If you can't lose it from sin, but you can lose it from being confused about having to, or thinking you could apostatize because of what the text says, and being faithful to like all the texts that seem to say that, like even from your perspective, you ought to be reasonable in saying, well, you can see why they might think that, but they do believe in justification by faith the same way we do in Christ alone. Then you're going to turn around and say, nope, that actually disqualifies you. Now you're adding to it. If you're saying we can lose that, that's why Charles takes his position. So you guys are dishonest, and you're not faithful to the text, and shame on you.